Hey, it's Donny A. Today we're going to talk about triads and connecting them with melody lines and using some leading tones. So this is a really cool thing that you can do by yourself, and you can start making up melodies in between chord progressions and stuff by using triads and laying your scales over the top of them. So this video is actually inspired by a comment I just got on a video I released. I was asked if I could teach how I played the intro to that video. And it's funny that I got a comment like that because I was actually watching a Guthrie Trapp video, and I don't know if you guys check him out, but he's really good. He's got some great YouTube videos. He's really advanced guitar player, so some of his stuff can go right over your head, but if you slow it down, really listen to what he's saying, I mean, he's making great points that, you know, you really got to know your chords, you got to know your scales, you got to know the fretboard, you got to know your triads, your cage system, and you really got to focus on playing the chord tones over the chords when you're soloing and playing lead guitar. And I fully agree with all that. I think chord tones when you're soloing is the best thing that you can do to make music and make your solos sound musical and really, you know, get better at guitar when you start focusing on stuff like that. But it's funny because he did an intro in that video and he was playing, you know, a little triad thing, making melodies off of it, going to other chords. And I really enjoyed it. And I tried to learn what he did and, you know, played it okay, but it inspired me to try and do it on my own and make my own thing. So this is what I came up with. So what that is, it's a D chord to an F sharp minor chord to a G chord to a D chord. And it's all triads, and it's really just connected with the pentatonic scale as our bass structure. So we're using the D major pentatonic scale. This is in the key of D. And that progression is also a 1, 3, 4, 1 chord progression. So your D major is your 1, and that's what we're starting off with. So this D triad that I'm playing is on your D, G, and B string on the 7th fret. So you need to know your triads for this, and this will help you learn them too, but that's a great triad that I use all the time. So that's your D triad. That D triad is sitting right on top of your D major pentatonic scale. So that's the form 1, and then, you know, your form 2 is right next to that. So we're going to really be using our form 1 and our form 2 here for this whole thing. So you have your D major chord right here. Do 1 down strum, and then we're doing a hammer-on pull-off on the B string at the 8th fret. And then we're playing the 8th fret of that B string, and then we're playing the 7th fret of that B string. And then we're going right up to the G string on the 7th fret, which is just part of your D chord. So you're already holding it down anyways. And that is your D note. So that's your 1. So you're back at your 1 now by hitting that G string. So then we're going 1, 2, and then 2 is sliding up to 3. And those are the notes in the scale. So you're on your 7th fret, which is your D note, and then you're at your 9th fret, and you're sliding up to your 11th fret, which gets you to your 3. So it's like a 1, 2, 3 with the slide. So the next chord is your F sharp minor chord. That's your 3 of the chord progression. That's a 3 is your F sharp minor. So right there you have a 3. So anywhere you have a 3, you have the triad for that 3 chord right around it. So your F sharp minor triad is right here, and that's on your G, B, and high E string. So it's G11, B10, E9. So that's why we're sliding up into it, and that's really your leading tone, is your 2 going into your 3 is leading you into that chord. And it's really like 2 strums on that, And then this is just walking up that scale. So if you have the form 2 of the pentatonic right here, and your ring finger's already on that 11th fret there on the G string, and you're just walking up that scale. So you're staying on the G string, 11th fret, 9th fret, and then you're going to the 12th fret on the D string. And the reason I'm using my ring finger here, instead of, like normally if I'm playing this scale, I'd probably use a pinky here. Just because it's 3 frets away. But the reason I'm using my ring finger when I get up to that D string is so I can slide back down, and then I'm right in position to grab this 4 chord, this 4 triad, which is your G major triad. That G major triad is part of your larger C cage shape. And that is 9 on your D, 7 on your G, and 8 on your B. See, you have that 4 there again. So if we're going to do that from here, it'd be... And then you're right back to your D chord out of that 4 chord, or going back to your 1. And then once you're on your 1, again, to end that little phrase, you have your pentatonic scale, your form 1 pentatonic scales right there. And this is one of the easiest triads and chord shapes to just like do a little riff off of, or, you know, play some other notes, because you have this scale that everybody's so familiar with right here. You know, you can strum this and then you can just do some hammer-on pull-offs on any of these notes right there on your D and G string, and you can really add in your 4 again. Then you're going right back into your D chord again, and the progression starts over. And you can really do this with any triads. Just try and pick out a chord progression that you want to use. Like, I know a few songs that are 1, 3, 4, 1. So I wanted to see what I could make up with that chord progression, because like The Wait by the band is a 1, 3, 4, 1 chord progression. Girl from the North County Fair by Bob Dylan and Johnny Cash is a 1, 3, 4, 1 progression the entire time. So I thought it'd be fun, since I've been playing those with my buddy, it'd be fun if I could do some melody stuff like this over the top, which we'll see if it works out. But at least I messed around with it and figured out something that sounds good. And one other thing, you know, what Guthrie Trapp was playing was cool. It was B minor to F sharp minor to A to E. And that's really cool. You know, I figured out, I don't know if I'm playing exactly how he was playing it, but it's really just this B minor triad. You're in the key of A major. So you got this B minor triad, and you're in the 3rd position of your A major pentatonic, because this is in the key of A. That's your leading tone, because it's the 3rd of your F sharp minor, and you can really hear that note when you're moving, right? When you do that little lick, it wants to go there. So it leads you to that F sharp minor. And then you go off of that F sharp minor and you go to an A triad on your D, G, and B string. And you can do this little walk up that he did. So it goes from this, and then he adds the 4 in. So that's like a sus4 again. See, everybody loves the 4s. The 4s are great. And he jumps to that E major triad right there. And this is the same as in the little thing I did. It's the same as that D major triad that was on the 7th fret. It's just on the 9th fret, and I was grabbing it with my ring finger instead of my index finger, because hand positioning is everything. If you can make it easier to play something, like where I said on that little lick, I did it with my ring finger so I could slide back down to the 4 triad. It's similar here. You know, instead of going like grabbing that with your index finger, which would be silly, you just grab it with your ring finger, and it makes it a lot easier. And that's that little walk down thing. I think I was doing it like this. And just doing the whole thing with my ring finger, which kind of throws a D in there, which your D is your 4. And then I was just grabbing that full E major chord. And this is an E major chord here. This is that C-shaped caged. So that was really just hanging on the A instead of doing the walk up and then just going right to the E. And that's how he did that. And then he did a bunch of other stuff. I didn't learn how to do any of the rest of the stuff he did, but I thought that was really cool. It inspired me to learn what he did, you know, try and figure it out, and then also go try and make my own thing up. And I'm happy somebody liked it. I appreciate that. And if you like this lesson, please like and subscribe. I'd appreciate it. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you soon.